Hi, everybody. It is Wednesday, May the 13th. So by now, if you've been following my page at all, you'll see that I've been posting a lot about this beautiful, beautiful version of Mother Mary, Our Lady of Fatima. Today, May the 13th, we recognize her apparitions at Fatima. And so I didn't want this day to go on without acknowledging her and sharing a little bit about her, because she's a really strong energy in my life that I ask in for support, and that continues to support me when I ask. And so I thought I would share. I absolutely love this depiction of Mother Mary. This is Our Lady of Fatima, and you'll see it's absolutely beautiful. And I'm just going to put her to the side here. And hi, who's ever popping on. Hi, everybody. It is Wednesday, May the 13th, and today is the day that we acknowledge Mother Mary's apparition in Fatima. And so today I thought I would share with you, this is May the 13th, the depiction of the three children that saw her at Fatima. And this is the story. Hi, Helen. What Our Lady said in the first apparition, May 13th, 1917. The three seers were playing when they saw two flashes like lightning, after which they saw the Mother of God above the holm oak. She was, according to Lucia, a lady dressed all in white, more brilliant than the sun, shedding a light that was clearer and more intense than that of a crystal goblet filled with crystalline water and struck by the rays of the most brilliant sun. Her face, indescribably beautiful, was neither sad nor happy, but serious. Mother Mary can come through very serious. With an air of mild reproach, her hands, joined together as if she were praying, were resting at her breast and pointing upward. A rosary hung from her right hand. Her clothes seemed to be made of light. The tunic was white. The veil, white and edged with gold, covered the head of the Virgin Mary. I'm going to bring her back here because she's so beautiful. Her clothes seemed to be made of light. The tunic was white. The veil, white and edged with gold, covered the head of the Virgin and descended to her feet. Neither her hair nor her ears could be seen. Lucia could never describe her features, for it was impossible for her to fix her gaze on the dazzling heavenly face. The seers were so close to Our Lady, about 1.5 yards away, that they stood within the light that radiated from and enveloped her. Our Lady said, "Do not be afraid. I will not harm you." Lucia, "Where is your grace from?" Our Lady, "I am from heaven." Our Lady raised her hand and pointed to the sky. Lucia, "And what does your grace wish of me?" Our Lady, "I have come to ask you to come here for 6 months in succession on the 13th day of each month at this same hour. Later, I will tell you who I am and what I want. Afterward, I will return here a 7th time. Lucia, "And will I go to heaven too?" Our Lady, "Yes, you will." Lucia, "And Jacinta?" Our Lady, "Also." Lucia, "And Francisco?" Our Lady, "Also, but he must say many rosaries." Lucia, "Is Maria de Neves already in heaven?" Our Lady, "Yes, she is." Lucia, "And Amelia?" Our Lady, "She will be in purgatory until the end of the world. Do you wish to offer yourselves to God to endure all the sufferings that he may be pleased to send you, as both an act of reparation for the sins with which he is offended and an act of supplication for the conversion of sinners?" Lucia, "Yes, we do." Our Lady, "Well then, you will have much to suffer, but the grace of God will be your comfort." It was upon saying these last words, the grace of God, that for the first time she opened her hands, which emitted a most intense light that penetrated our breasts, reaching the innermost part of our souls and making us see ourselves in God. Who was that light? More clearly than we can see ourselves in the best of mirrors. Then, driven by a deep inspiration, we knelt down and repeated inwardly, O most holy Trinity, I adore thee. My God, I love thee in the most blessed sacrament. A moment later, Our Lady added, Pray the rosary to end the war. She immediately began to rise serenely toward the east until she disappeared far into the distance, opening her way through the starry firmament. So this is from the Catholic Church, of course, and these apparitions of Our Lady at Fatima went on from May to October, May the 13th to October the 13th. And from what I know, this Blessed Mother, oh, I'm getting all goosies. This Blessed Mother came to warn us, and through the power of the Holy Spirit, wanted us to pray for the world. And right now, like even today, I did the Hail Marys, the Rosary for 2 hours because I subscribe to a page that does them and I follow along. And so I can feel her strongly. I know her power because I have asked her for help for many years. And I've also thanked her for many years for being with me and for helping me and for continuing to help me. And sometimes I wonder why we haven't seen her strongly in Canada, and I don't have any answers for that. But when I was looking up a little bit of homework to see where she has shown herself, there have been many, many apparitions, and I'd love to share some of them with you. So these are the ones that are acknowledged by the church. For example, Our Lady of Guadalupe, starting in 1531 in Mexico, Our Lady of the Miraculous Medal in France, Our Lady of La Salette in France again, Our Lady of Lourdes. Like some of you may have heard the most famous ones, Lourdes, Medjugorje, Fatima, but there are other ones. Our Lady of Knock in Ireland, of course, Our Lady of Fatima in Portugal. My husband is from Portugal, so Our Lady of Fatima. And this particular depiction with the crown on her head has been strong in our lives. And we remember, you guys, we don't, like, she isn't exalted above God. God asks us to acknowledge and to respect her as the mother of Jesus, as the mother of the Son of God. And so we ask her intercession on our behalf, okay? So not only in Portugal, but Our Lady of the Good Event in Ecuador, Our Lady of Laos in France, Our Lady of Good Help in Wisconsin in the US, Our Lady of Hope, again in France, Our Lady of Geertswald in Poland, Our Lady of Breurang in Belgium, Our Lady of Banul in Belgium, the Lady of All Nations in the Netherlands. Like some of these, Our Lady of Akita in Akita, Japan. I didn't know that one. Our Lady of Chuapa, I think, in Nicaragua. She showed up, Virgin and Mother of all the people in Venezuela, in Rwanda, Buenos Aires, Argentina, Madonna of the Miracle in Rome, and Our Lady of the Pillar in Spain, in England, Our Lady of Mount Carmel, in England, Our Lady of the Watch in Monte in Italy, in India, Our Lady of Good Health in India, Our Lady of Siluva in Lithuania, look at that, even in Vietnam. So she has shown herself, that's the point, she has shown herself in so many places that she wants us to know that she is around, and that even for those of us who are seekers like I am of why hasn't she shown herself in Canada. And I don't know if she has or if she hasn't. I don't know enough to know if she has or hasn't. And I just hear when she talks to me to have faith. To have faith that she's here and to, be with good faith. That's what I'm hearing. Be of good faith. And so today, I love the number 13. I love May the 13th. Today is also my grandpa and my Uncle Mike, who are both in spirit. It's their birthday. And so May the 13th, ever since I was a little girl, was a very special day. And then as I grew up and began to acknowledge Mother Mary and feel her, hi Rosa, and Rosa knows, she's my cousin, and her grandma loved Mother Mary as well and prayed the rosary until her death, her rebirth back in heaven. And so I know that Mother Mary is strong in my family, in my little family with me and Paulo Jr. And what most of you most likely don't know, and I shared the other day, is that Paulo and I, when we got married, we always knew we wanted to have kids, and we had some unexplained fertility on my side. And we prayed to Mother Mary, this particular Mother Mary, and we asked her to help us. And that's why I believe that Paulo Jr. is a gift. And, life isn't always easy. However, we get the support that we need from the divine when we ask. And that's the secret recipe, is to continue to ask for help. And although the answers don't always come in the package that we expect or in the way that we expect, they will help us. They will help us. And to continue to be of good faith. To be of good faith. Like any good mother, she redirects you when you might be on the wrong path and supports you and allows you to make your own divine free will choices. And she asks us to pray the rosary. This rosary happens to be from Fatima, and that's why I have it around her, because it's very special to me. And that is why each day I endeavor, as somebody who is not, perfect. None of us are. And I ask for help. These are not easy times. And, I'm feeling her strong. She just wants us to know to be of good faith. And so, of course, with May being the month that we remember Mother Mary, and today remembering her apparitions at Fatima, I'd love to pull us a card. I don't know what our guidance is yet today, but I would absolutely love to be of service and share a message with all of us from dear Mother Mary. So I'm just going to give the deck a good shuffle. Hi, Pina. Yes, right, Rosa, she did until her last breath. And that is what we need to do more of, is to continue to pray in a way that feels good for us and to ask for the support that we need. Each of us are walking through things that aren't easy. Each of us. Oh, that's so beautiful, Helen. You're so blessed to have been there. I've never been personally. However, I've had many friends who have journeyed either to Fatima or to Lourdes or to Medjugorje. And I think one actually went to Guadalupe. The other ones were quite, it was quite interesting. Oh, this is our card. Boundaries. Yes, Mother Mary. I am clear and honest with others about my expectations. So very beautiful. You'll see Mother Mary, baby Jesus is in her arms, and the guardian angels, or those beautiful angels, are above. And they're crowning her. There's a crown there. So this is what I'm feeling. We are beloved of the divine, each of us, even ones that don't show up. All of us are beloved of the divine. God makes no mistakes. However, because of our divine free will, there are people that we allow to do certain things. And when we don't have good boundaries, last year was a big year for me to create boundaries and enforce boundaries and learn about boundaries and to speak my truth. It's really important to understand that it's okay to have these boundaries, and it is important to have these boundaries, and each of us is important. And when somebody is treating us less than, then our work is to look in the mirror and to discover what part of us is having the issue and what kind of boundaries do you need to have in order to bring more peace in your life, and to be honest with what you need. And sometimes people are like, if you've never had a boundary and then all of a sudden you create a boundary, they might be like resisting the boundaries. And it's an interesting journey. So this is what the card says. Since God doesn't make victims, this card asks you to not act like one in any way. This is a message of self-empowerment. Instead of blaming others passively, convey your expectations and true feelings to them. Stand up for yourself, even if you risk conflict and confrontation. You can ask God, Jesus, and Mother Mary to guide your words so that you maintain your boundaries from a standpoint of love instead of fear. Others will respect you for being assertive, and you will respect yourself more too because you're treating yourself lovingly. So remember, you guys, it is an act of great self-care. Remember, Mother Mary is all about self-love and filling your own cup first. It is divine. It is an act of extreme love for yourself. Self-care is divine care. That's what I was trying to get out. And that it's important to take care of yourself. So create these boundaries with love, not a fear. Speak your truth. And if the other person, oh, see, my throat is clearing. This is a big lesson I'm walking through right now. And I love that she brought it up as affirmation to continue. And I know that a lot of us who haven't had boundaries, there may not be a lot of ease in the beginning when you create these boundaries and people are like, what do you mean? Even today when I said to my husband, I was saying something of how I'm feeling in a particular instance, and he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, what do you mean? What do I mean? I'm telling you, I can't handle that. Like this particular thing that's going on. And I'm like, it's intrusive and it's making me crazy. And it would be nice if it could be like this. And so he's been messaging me today and he understands. Like, this is the thing. It's everything is give and take. However, if you are a giver and you give and give and give, and you don't open yourself to receive, what happens is, like, remember I was saying that cup, fill your own cup, then your cup is empty and you feel tired and depleted. And sometimes you need to enforce boundaries and say, no, you know what? That's not working for me. This is how I need it to be. Maybe 3 days from now, it'll be different. But today, this is how I'm feeling. Whatever it is, X, Y, and Z. So, a beautiful card. The crown, what I'm feeling with the crown is not only are they crowning Mother Mary, especially today, they acknowledge Mother Mary with a crown of flowers, but also they want us to remember how loved we are, that we have an invisible crown, and it's okay to demand to be treated like the queen that you are, or the king that you are. None of us need to be treated less than what we deserve. And especially now, during this time where a lot of us are being in this situation where we've had an abundance of time and not being able to go a lot of places, we've had a lot of time to grow and expand, heal, and learn how to create boundaries. Okay, so this is a big one. I actually am really, I can feel it in my throat, and I can also feel it in my heart. It's just to continue on. And like she said, remember to have faith. Have faith that even if we don't see her, to trust her, to invite her in, to maybe this will spark your love of dear Mother Mary, our divine mother, our beautiful mother in heaven that is here for all of us. You know, this is what I've learned. You know, a lot of us have good mothers, but remember they're people too. They have their own life journeys. They have their own thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And at a certain point, we become women ourselves. And we have a right to live our life in the way that we need to. Similarly, they have a right to live their life the way that they need to, and not to have expectations on each other. And I'm also blessed that even though I'm the oldest and I have this mother archetype that maybe my sister and my brothers didn't always appreciate, that I was this mother hen. And now that I'm healing, I'm not a mother hen, I'm more their sister, which they appreciate, that it was okay to have learned to be a mother. Because one thing I know, I am a good mother. And so I don't regret mothering. And there are younger women who rather enjoy my mothering. And it's an interesting journey to ask Mother Mary for the support whenever you need it, for whatever you need. Hi, Stephen. Hi, Heather. Hi, Jerry. So yes, Mother Mary, I want to show you her again, because this is the depiction, Our Lady of Fatima, that we acknowledge today, May the 13th. And that she wants us to open our hearts to more love, to her and to her son Jesus. He is real. He is real. It isn't a fable or a fairy tale. She was chosen to be the mother of God, the Son of God. You know, I mean, it's interesting when I think of her and how she just had the faith that it would be okay. And I also think of her, you know, we're still in the Easter season, I think, 5 weeks after Easter, something like that. And how hard it was on her to see Jesus crucified and beaten the way that he was. However, she never lost her faith and knew that he was going to rise again. And even after he rose to heaven, her life wasn't easy. I've read stories where she and Mary Magdalene had to flee to France. So her human journey was not easy. None of our human journeys are easy. And the contrast is we are allowed beauty. We get the days that are great. And it's interesting because today I had a call with one of my son's workers, and she said to me, the good days, you know, don't negate the bad days, just as the bad days don't negate the good days. And so, you know, it's to hang in there. It's to have hope always, to create these boundaries from love, to learn, to understand that you have this invisible crown. Whether you're a man or whether you're a woman, you have an invisible crown because you are a daughter and a son of the divine. And if I've learned anything, it's to share that, to share, especially Mother Mary. She's been a big support for me. And as long as I have breath, I will endeavor to do better each day with her help. So that's it. That is my message for today. Boundaries. Mother Mary, this particular Fatima, our Lady of Fatima, our beautiful Lady of Fatima, wants us to know that we are beloved. And a shout out to Grandpa and Uncle Mike in spirit, because it's their birthday today, and to my entire family who are missing them, and especially my Auntie Rita for, you know, her heart, and Gina and Mario and their families. So I love you all. Have a blessed evening. Whatever you're doing in your world, I'm off to check my chicken in the oven, and I think I need some fresh air. Anyways, I wish you an amazing day, everybody. God bless you.